Hey, for our 7.3 notes, we're going to be taking the different strategies we have learned to solve for proportions and percentages, and we're going to apply them into the story problem. So we need to read the problem and set it up, think about what do we know, set up our problem, answer the questions. So Josh took a test that had 40 questions. So the test had 40. He scored 90%, so here's another number, and the percent, and we know that's a percent. How many questions, oops, that should have an S on the end. How many questions did he get correct? So the test had 40. The test had 40. So is that part of the test, or is that all of the test? So those are the questions we need to think about. What does that 40 mean? Is that a part or a total? And I want to know how many he got correct out of 40. So I don't hear the words is and of in this problem, but I can still answer that. How many questions out of 40? 40 is the total amount of questions on that test. I'm looking for the questions I got right. What is the amount of questions Josh got correct out of 40, which equals 90%. So we can set this up. So we're looking for the questions, and our total is 40. And then we know that he got 90%, and we always write percent as 90 out of 100, or whatever the percent is out of 100. So we can now write our new problem. 9 times 4 is 36 with 2 zeros, and that equals 100 Q's. So here's my Q. Now I want Q all by itself, so I need to do the opposite of multiply, which is to divide. So that cancels out. 100 divided by 100 is 1, so now I have one question, and or one Q, and I need to do the same thing to the other side to keep my equation balanced. So these zeros match up, these zeros match up, which means 36 divided by 1 is 36. So Josh got 36 questions out of 40 to get 90%. So some things you can do to kind of think through this. Here we had small, big, so it should follow that same pattern, small, big. It should follow the same pattern going the other way, small, big, small, big. If all of a sudden you notice one of your numbers isn't following the other pattern, that means you've maybe done some math wrong or put something not in the right spot. So he got 36 questions correct. And I can also answer how many questions did he get incorrect now. So he got 30 out of 40 right. So that means he missed 40 was the total. He got 36 right. So if I take those 36 away, that will give me the other 10%, which is 4. So we got 4 questions wrong, which is 10%, because 10 plus 90 is 100. And I want that to 36 and 4 equals 40. So both of my pieces, the incorrect and the correct, should add up to the total. So let's try one more story problem here. So this says Wyatt got 15 questions correct on a test. So this is how many he had correct. He scored 60%. How many questions were on the test? So we need to think about, what does this 15 mean? He got 15, and we're looking for how many questions were on the whole entire test. So this time we do not know the total. We're looking for the total. So 15 is how many Wyatt had. Out of how many? Well, we don't know that yet. That's what we're looking for. So we know Wyatt had 15. We're looking for the total number of questions on the test. We know 15 is 60%. 15 is 60, right? Is, and percent, 60%, always out of 100. So I can cross multiply here. So I have 60 times t is 60 t's, and that equals 15 times 100. 15 times 1 is 15, with 2 zeros. So now I want t by itself to figure out the total questions, because I only have 1 t here, so I only want 1 over here. So the opposite of times by 60 is divide by 60. So this is a 1 t. And now I need to divide by 60 here. I can see I can get rid of 1 0 from each of them. I can't get rid of this one because there's not another one down here to match. So the problem I actually need to do is 150 divided by 6. So it can't go into 1, but it can go into 15 2 times, which is 12. 3 left over, bring down the 0, and it goes in there 5 times. So that means there were 25 total questions on the test. 15 out of 25 is 60%. Let's see. I went little, big, little, big. If I go the other way, little, bigger, little, bigger. So we can think about it that way. This was also one I could have asked myself, how do I get from 15 to 60? 15, 30, 45, 60. Well, actually, I guess we were going backwards because we're looking for the t. So I would have to do divide by 4. 60 divided by 4 is 15. If I do 100 and divide it by 4, that is 25 quarters. 25, 50, 75, 100. So we've got lots of ways we can get these percents. If they're nice factors, we can just do the same thing to the top and the bottom. I can turn it into 1 and then go there. Or I usually just make my new equation so I know exactly what do I need to multiply and divide by to find that missing number. So now it wants to know what percent of the questions did he get incorrect. So we know he got 60% correct, and that's out of 100. So what percent were incorrect? That means 100 minus 60 is 40% were incorrect, which we can also figure out is 10 questions because he missed 10 here. So 10 questions he got wrong, which was 40% of the test, or he got 15 correct, which was 60% of the test. So we can answer lots of questions once we know all of our 4 parts of our ratio.